The biggest downside of our 529 plans is going away in 2024, guys. This video, we're gonna break down the MASP program, the 529 plans, and build out exactly what you want for the college savings. If you're like me and you have little ones, the Secured 2.0 and a slew of measures for retirement savers have really made it beneficial to do these 529 plans. So starting in 2024, savers can use unused money in a 529 plan to roll over to a Roth individual retirement plan. That is right, guys. You can use unused funds to roll over to a Roth, which means the money you put into a 529 plan was tax-free or tax deferred when you went in there. As long as the money is used for education, you can go ahead and use that money. You will not pay taxes on the money. You will not pay growth on that money. And now rolling it over to a Roth, you are not going to have to pay taxes on that forever. That is crazy, guys. Among other limitations, the 529 must have been open for 15 years and the account holders can't roll over contributions made in the last 5 years. So it is going to require you to have that 529 plan for a considerable amount of time. The rollovers are subject to the annual rollover IRA Roth IRA contribution limits, and there is a $35,000 lifetime cap. However, for a majority of savers, especially if you are doing the 529 plans, you probably don't have $35,000 in there. With the economy going up, the prices of things, inflation going up, overall, a lot of people are really scratching the education and the education planning kind of out the window. So what are some of the benefits of the 529 plan? Going through here, some states you can get a tax deduction for contributions. Here in Michigan, you do get that. Earnings grow on a tax-free basis. When you withdraw the money, it is tax-free as well. So meaning you can put money into a 529 plan. You can let it grow for 18 years until your child is ready to go to college. Upon using the funds for college, as long as it is for qualified educational expenses, which can include tuition, fees, books, room and board, even apprenticeship programs can apply to a 529 plan. And as long as it is used for one of those programs, it is tax-free on the money you're pulling out. So if you're like me, guys, putting money into a 529 makes a big difference because I do not want my kids to come out of school with an incredible amount of overwhelming student loans to start their own job. Now, a few states also do additional benefits if residents live there, if they reinvest or invest into their state's plans. So definitely check out exactly what you need to put the money into. Now, looking at the 529 plan that we got, guys, if my children want to go to like a University of Michigan, again, here we are from Michigan, the University of Michigan, they're estimating by the time my daughter is ready to go, which is in about 9 years, they are estimating $190,000 for education. That is where I said, guys, being able to roll over $35,000 from this plan really makes a big difference. When you look at the price tag of a 4-year education of around 190 grand for a large school, cannot imagine the price, even if it came to an Ivy League school, it is going to be even higher. Now, of course, with this, guys, you can put up to $10,000 for each plan beneficiary, as well as $10,000 for each of the siblings. Now, in addition to this, guys, you can roll this over. For instance, if my oldest daughter does not want to go to education, does not want to go to college, that plan can roll over to another individual, which is, of course, her little brother. But you can go ahead and roll money over in that avenue. Now, total investments in 529 fell almost $411 billion in 2022. That is right, guys, down nearly 15% from the previous year. So 2021, we seen 480 billion go in there. And then, of course, 2022, economy, things got more expensive. 529 plans, like I said, are one of the absolute first things to go, unfortunately. So the major sticking point is a lot of people are not requiring, and a lot of jobs do not require the college educations anymore. It's kind of crazy. When you look at a lot of in-state public schools, when you look at community colleges, a lot of those are also being picked up as a local or less expensive or a free option, depending on where you are, for a lot of individuals. So again, it seems like the majority of colleges and the larger institutions are charging more money for tuition. And on the other side, we have a lot less people that are going into the education system because, again, it is not really required for a lot of jobs. Now, when it comes to the more direct, the more streamlined, education is going to have to and will always be a requirement. When you look at doctors, nurses, engineers, lawyers, things of that nature that require kind of that specialized degree to get into that field, it's not like, hey, I picked up everything in high school. I know how to be a doctor. We are good. That is not the case, guys. Higher education is still going to have a place for a lot of people, but for a majority, and honestly, the majority that does not have and does not want to go to college or does not care or does not need one of those college educations, one of those shiny pieces of paper that we pay a ton of money for. Now, of course, the Roth IRA tax advantage after 15 years is coming, and I know limited to $35,000, but this is really to help a point of resistance that we've seen. And in my opinion, guys, and what CNBC has been saying is we're going to see a huge 529 spike in utilization, which again, if we can get inflation under control, if we can get the economy back in line, I feel like it is going to be, again, a great investment vehicle. So even if someone in their mid 20s put $35,000 into a Roth and left it, in 40 years, you would have north of almost $1 million. Again, which is kind of crazy to think of the compounding interest. So again, 35K into a Roth IRA, leave it 40 years with a decent return. You're talking about $1 million right there on 35K invested. However, the majority of individuals do not leave the money there. That is one of the biggest things, guys. When we really stress putting in that 15%, when we really stress paying off that debt, getting that emergency fund built, literally, if you start at 18 and you put 15% into a 401k, put it into a Roth 401k, put it into a Roth IRA, you're going to have much more than $1 million, million plus, very easy, long before retirement. So if you're looking at retirement being an early option, it is always a plan. Then, of course, over that 15%, guys, you can start putting money into those 529 plans. That way, if you don't use the money for education, you can roll over 35K. Worst case scenario, you do roll over the money. Best case scenario, your child goes to college and gets an education that is paid for in its entirety. Now, when it comes to the big education, really they break it up into 33%. So what that is meaning, 33% of the education should be covered by the student. 33% of that should be covered by grants and scholarships, things of that nature that a student does not have to pay back. And 33%, that is a pretty big bucket, guys, should be covered by parents, grandparents, 529 plans, investment accounts, things of that nature. And again, this is kind of a general rule of thumb. As education has continued to increase in cost, it is really a no-brainer, guys. You have to save for a college education. If I can cut 5, 10, 15, 20, $30,000 out of the student loan debt that my kids will be borrowing, it is going to be a game changer when you look at 5.5%, 6%, for student loans. If they don't have to borrow for the first year or two, that is going to be a game changer when it comes to being financially independent and having that financial freedom. All right, guys, so that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of 529 plans, and I'll catch you in the next video.